No, I've still got like 10 hours.
Okay.
And it resets on the 28th. It resets in 4 days. I'll be back in school by then.
Yeah.
Welcome to noon on a Monday in Hillsborough. You can hear the tornado sirens going off.
What?
Which you can't hear them. Oh, on Monday at noon, they test the tornado sirens. It freaks out people who are brand new to town because
when I lived close to campus, when I went to college, I could hear the tornado sirens, but we can't hear them where we're at.
So, welcome to Lena Avoids Housework. I have dishes that I need to do, but I have been really productive today. I've filmed 4 videos. They were like travel tip and Fitness Friday videos. So making sure that like, because I have my list of videos that need done, and I'm good up until like middle of February with like other ones that are done sprinkled in. Sam and I recorded like 4 videos last night, so some of that was like editing and uploading and making the thumbnails and editing the description. That takes a while.
Mm-hmm.
So I got all that done and feeling pretty positive about that.
I don't think I haven't recorded a video since my House of Siage Disney video. I didn't record a video for my Wonder Woman one. I didn't because I had a tester when I got the Disney one. I had a Wonder Woman tester that I included in my Disney one, so there was no point to do a video for the Wonder Woman fragrance.
So after I got off the live stream with you this morning, I did some stuff, and then Sam called from work. As you can see, I need to get my nails redone. They're popping off. This one, which one was it? Yeah, this one, I accidentally jammed it against the wall, and it popped off. Oh, that was so painful. That did not feel good. But we were like, I typically do a spreadsheet with our budget for the full year. Here's what days were paid. Here's what bills are paid on this day. Here's what we have left out of a general check. Sam's like, you haven't done it past February. We're almost in February. And I'm like, oh, okay. So he said on the phone, and like, I'm like, okay, here's this date and here's this date, and got that completely all done through the year, and then figured out like when we're going to have our July trip paid off, when we're going to have our December trip paid off. Then we ended up changing our December trip. We're still going to Disney, but we changed resorts. It was only $500 more to go to a moderate.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at with between the value resort to from Pop to French Quarter for my trip. It's like less than $1,000 more.
That's exactly what we did. And that was for 2 weeks over Christmas and New Year's. $500. $485 if I buy the gift card at Sam's.
Yeah, I did the pricing for mine. Yeah, it's like $600 more.
So Sam's like, heck yeah, let's go ahead and make the change. That's not that much of a price difference.
And if I went to Caribbean Beach instead of French Quarter, which is on the Skyliner, it's only $50 more than French Quarter.
See, I'm not a Skyliner fan.
I love the Skyliner.
I'm with Cargo, and I call it the death trap in the sky.
But I really want to stay at French Quarter.
I'm really excited. Sam and I are going to go over to the French Quarter at some point on our July trip, because all I hear on WDW Radio's Facebook group is that you have to try the beignets at French Quarter. Now that French Quarter's open, you have to try the beignets.
Yeah, I hear that with all of them.
And I'm like, honey, I kind of want to go try these beignets. And he's like, they have boozy beignets too. And I'm like, even better.
And they also have like nightlife there, kind of like they do at the boardwalk. So
over at the Riverside portion.
Yeah, but like in French Quarter is much smaller, so it seems
Yes.
like it. Whereas I don't know. I want to try French Quarter out, and I've been to the Caribbean beach side, but I haven't stayed there. But I mean, I've walked through it, kind of like I've walked through the Riviera.
Yeah.
So
kind of like I've walked through the Grand Floridian.
I've stayed there, but I've walked through that one a million times because it's such a pretty resort.
It's beautiful.
I actually haven't walked through. Sort of, I have. The Contemporary during Christmas time when they had the gingerbread stuff, I walked in that area, but I didn't walk through it a lot. But I have really no interest in the Contemporary.
I stayed there in September, and it is very confusing to navigate. In my opinion,
it also seems really noisy.
It is very noisy. If you have kids and you're like, I want them to be able to take a nap, and so we're going to be most of the time at Magic Kingdom, I would probably say, okay, then go with the Contemporary because they have the character meal and that kind of thing. But if you're wanting a more quiet experience on the monorail, probably go with the Poly or Grand. Or even Wilderness, because Wilderness is just a 12-minute boat ride away.
Yeah.
I know. I filmed it.
Yeah. I mean, I've been to the Wilderness Lodge. It seems like a nice place to stay, but I feel like it's too similar to Animal Kingdom Lodge, and I've stayed there twice.
Sam and I really like Wilderness Lodge because it reminds us of a resort in Washington called, I just about said it, Skamania Lodge, which is where we stayed for several military marriage retreats. And the design and stuff inside with like the totem poles and everything really is very Pacific Northwest. And it's like, it almost like a little piece of home because we lived there for so long.
Yeah.
And like I stayed so long, like 3.5 years.
I think I would want to stay at the Poly at some point because when I was last there and I was just kind of walking around at night, they have like really awesome Hawaiian music just out there, and you could literally just sit on your balcony and listen to the music.
Yeah. When we were there in 2019, we were there for the luau, and we actually got to watch like them light the torches. And I have a video of that. I will find that and put that in the comments. That was actually really cool to watch. I just had to find it.
I'm glad I don't have a whole lot to do right now.
Christy is earning points.
I'm doing training modules I'm doing training modules, whatever. Like training modules. It's for Fidelity, which is a life insurance, and 401k and stuff. So.
We were talking about this before. Like, it used to be called the Achievement app, and now it's called something else, and I can't pronounce it. But like, you link your Fitbit to it, and it gives you points for walking, and then you can like answer surveys if you want to get extra points. And at 10,000 points, you get $10, and you can either get a gift card or you can get a PayPal payment, and it's like an instant PayPal payment. I'm drinking my fancy 7-Up.
What's in it?
Blueberries.
Oh.
Blueberries, and I did Welch's passion fruit singles to go mixed with zero sugar 7-Up. It feels fancy.
I'm drinking unsweet tea in a fancy cup.
My mommy got me this cup. She got me like a pack of 4 from Walmart.
This is like, I don't know. I'm obsessed with the little eye holes here on the glasses because you could stick your finger in them. So I sit here and I play with it.
Oh boy, you cracked me up. We have no one hanging out with us, but that's okay. Yeah. People are at work. I get that. Sam's like, so are you ready to go back to work? And I'm like, I am. I'm kind of getting bored at home. I think I'm trying to decide, like, I think I did coffee corner on Wednesdays, but I don't think I'm going to do coffee corner on Wednesday over the summer because we have travel talk, and that's a lot of live streaming in one day.
Do it Monday.
I was going to say, I think I'm going to do it on Mondays because
that way it breaks it up.
Yep, it would almost be. It'll pretty much be Monday, Wednesday, or Monday, Friday. Well, and then Thursdays with magical makeup, but yeah, I think that's the route I'm gonna go.
I thought I had a rubber band over here, but I guess not. I do have bobby pins. I think so. I've never had psoriasis before, but I think I may have it in my scalp because my husband has psoriasis, and I was looking at what was in my scalp, and I was like, this looks like psoriasis, and it's like all along the line here, and it's rashy, and like psoriasis is, and itchy, of course, because psoriasis is itchy.
Right.
I've never had it before. I was telling him about it this morning. He's like, it can pop up whenever. I don't know if you can see it, but it's like, you can probably see it better right here.
Oh, yeah.
You see that?
Yeah.
I think I have psoriasis. That, or I could have gotten, it wouldn't still be there though. It's like I could have gotten a chemical burn when I did the at-home keratin treatment, but that was several weeks ago. I wouldn't still have that chemical burn if I had that. Kind of like you can get a chemical burn when you bleach your hair.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't still be there if that were the case.
No. We have one person watching. Hello, one person watching. Just say hello so that we can say hello to you. Would you believe I'm still drinking on that coffee from this morning?
At least it was cold, right?
Right.
I hate it when warm coffee gets cold, but iced coffee, I'm fine.
Yeah. And they went away. Bye, person who was watching.
I think there's I don't think that StreamYards is ever accurate on the count. So if you're paying attention to that, hold on, I'll go check the actual live stream. I still don't even think that's correct.
I don't think so either. Nope, it says there are 0 people watching. That's okay.
It's not even up on on my screen here. I bet no one shared it out.
Okay.
It's not even. I just muted it.
I posted on Instagram, and I had a couple of people like the post, but
we have 3 likes on the website. I never quite understood why I have multiple colors of bobby pins, brown and blonde.
Maybe you got your hair done at some point.
I mean, it was brown years ago, but I mean, many, many years ago.
So Sam and I, when we were on our vacation, we had envelopes for our cash for our daily food budget, and whenever we got change, we just threw it in our bag and into this one pocket. And when we got back to the room, we would take it from that pocket and we would throw it in our. This is our first aid box. It's a Dollar Tree knockoff caboodle that I filled with stuff, and I have a video on that, I think. Yeah, but we just threw our change in here, and so when we got home, I have this that's also from Dollar Tree, and we just filled it with change. And on Friday, it was up to the T. I counted it before we came home, and there was $14 and change in it. And so we pay for a lot of stuff in cash, even though we have the debit card, we pull cash and pay in cash. So I counted out just the quarters, and we had like $20 in quarters. So I messaged Sam and I said, hey, I think we have about $25 in change. Why don't we go ahead and cash it in and make a free payment on our trip? We consider change payments free payments because we don't spend change, we just save it.
Mhm.
And so we had $24.98, and we had like a $1 bill here, so we were still able to make a $1 payment. Then when we were walking out the door, we found a quarter on the ground. So we've restarted our change thing. As you can see, it has more than just a quarter in it, but so we'll cash that in probably in July.
Yeah, anytime I have like cash for whatever reason, however I get it, I usually put it in an envelope and just save it in my envelope until my next trip, and I'll have cash. I always find it harder to spend the cash than it is to just use your card.
Or tap your Magic Band.
Yep.
Same. It's easier. It's easier to like not think about how much you're spending when you're just tapping a Magic Band or sliding a debit card, than to actually physically hand over $20, $30, whatever the amount is, for an item. Like Sam and I, when we go, okay, this is our spending money. If we know it's for Disney, we'll put it on a Disney gift card. Sam has his and I have mine, and like we'll put an S and an L on them so we know whose is whose. And still, with that, you're like, I only have $50 on this gift card. It's hard. You have to really stop and think about what you're purchasing.
Well, my last trip, I had gotten, because it was heavily Universal. I didn't get any Disney gift cards. I got Visa gift cards, and I got, I think, $1,500 in Visa gift cards, and I came back with still $500. I was like, I didn't even use these because I was very frugal. I was sure to not eat expensive, and I mean, I did eat expensive, but in a couple of times, but those were planned. And I didn't buy any gifts at Universal until my last day, because that was my last day. And then I spent maybe $100 in gifts at Disney, and that was it. It's very frugal. That last trip, I was gone for 6 days, 7 days, cost me like $500 because I had my discount for my Universal room, and I had that travel agent discount, and I had my 3 travel agent free days, and I got a discount on Disney tickets. And my first 2 nights, I didn't even have to pay for a room because I stayed with a friend, and then the friends I was with paid for everything. Our Space 220 reservations, like water throughout the whole day, any of the like little kiosks, everything.
Hello, Victoria. Welcome in. Thank you so much.
Hi.
Says your tones are beautiful. Thank you for keeping us all entertained. Well, we're glad that you're hanging out with us on this. For me, it's sunny. I don't know what the weather looks like in Tennessee, but it's sunny here. But sometimes in December, and I just watched a squirrel run across the power line like it's a tightrope walker. The weather is it says it's 52 here, so it actually is. It's pretty nice outside.
Sunny and 54. But what is the wind chill?
Yeah, that stinking wind chill. That nasty wind.
Air quality is good.
Oh, that's good.
Wind makes it feel like it's 50. It's 41% humidity, so it's a wet cold, which is the worst.
It is. That is really the worst. And it makes you feel the...
But let me see. I think we're similar. Yeah. So Orlando right now is 59 degrees. So we're not much cooler than Orlando right now.
I am from Miami and we are freezing. It actually feels like New Jersey or Chicago weather. I was about to say, I'm sure the people in Florida are going, excuse me. hey, the North, come back and get your weather.
For us, 59 is just like a light jacket and we're good.
Right? And you know the people in Florida are like going, where are the gloves? Where are the hats? Where's our winter parkas? Yeah. And we're going, hey, I'd go out in a tank top in this.
Well, I wouldn't wear a tank top in 50 degrees, but I get you. Hi, Mickey Sightings.
Hey, Sean. Welcome in. Oh, that's bummer. One of my friends just tested positive.
I found out today one of my coworkers, their grandbaby died. I didn't get the details. It was during a meeting, but I felt that's terrible. And she has like 7 grandchildren, but even for one of them, that's terrible.
Victor says, "Yep, pretty much." That's horrible. That's so sad. It's been a long 2 years. Mm-hmm. It really has. I'm done. As an educator, I'm done. Our heating is not really designed for temps below 40. Like I said, I feel so bad for those people in Florida right now. Somebody said like the upper panhandle of Florida got snow. And I'm like, do people in Florida know how to drive in snow?
Well, a couple of years ago, Texas got a lot of snow.
Mm-hmm. Well, like, there's and I couldn't tell you. I need to have to look it up. There's a mountain range that kind of cuts Washington in half. If you're on like this side of the mountain range, like closest to us, they can drive in snow. It snows pretty frequently. On the other side, closer to the ocean, they don't get snow that often. They don't know how to drive in it. Literally, they will park their cars on the interstate and call for an Uber. And then they will let the state impound their car and pay the impound and tow fee rather than drive in it. Like, when we lived out there, because we lived there for 3.5 years, and they had like a Kansas, Tennessee style snowstorm, and they had predicted that they were going to get a couple inches. And somebody told us, you need to go grocery shopping right now because it is going to be insane. People don't know how to drive in it. People don't know how to handle it. It doesn't happen that often. It's been 7 years since we had a lot of snow. Okay, so we went to the commissary and we picked up like the shelf-stable almond milk and some extra bread and cheese and eggs and flour and sugar and that kind of thing because I wasn't working and I did a lot of baking at that point. And like 4 hours after we got home, one of my friends called me and goes, "There's nothing left at the commissary." Because I had called her and said, "Hey, you may want to go. Is there anything that you want?" And she's like, "Well, I can't. I'm at a doctor's appointment." And she had me pick her up a few things. And she's like, "I should have had you pretty much double what you bought because there was nothing." And a couple days later, it hit and we actually lost power. And so we ended up having to throw away like some eggs and a few cold things, but our housing reimbursed us for that. The military housing reimbursed. I feel like the weather everywhere, like the climate, is getting too bizarre. Like, globally. Not that I know much about the climate change, but this is how I feel. Yeah, I will agree with that. Like, it doesn't feel like the end of January to me. It doesn't feel, it feels like me, with it being 52, but and Christy, tell me, like, if you disagree, but like last year when we had that cold snap, that didn't happen till like mid to end of February.
It doesn't usually snow here until the end of February, but Tennessee weather is very bipolar anyway. So we can have days in early March that are 70, 80 degrees, and then April's 40.
Yeah.
So it's, to me, it's not like drastically different. I'm just happy we had a couple of snow days before it even hit to February.
Well, like we had a little bit of snow like beginning of October. Then we had a snow day beginning of the month. But like I'm anticipating like maybe a couple snow days in February, March timeframe, and then it's done.
Yeah.
It's gonna get cold, but not like snow cold. It's just gonna be cold. Like today's supposed to be really pretty in the high 50s. Tomorrow's supposed to be in the 30s again, and then Wednesday through the next couple of weeks supposed to be up in the high 50s, mid to low 60s, and I'm like, I'm sorry, December, January, February to me it's snow. It's cold. We shouldn't be running around in shorts and a tank top in the middle of February, but then I still sometimes act like I'm in college, so it's okay.
I mean, yeah, our weather's always bipolar.
Yeah. One of the teachers is like, oh my gosh, this is insane. And I go, somebody needs to give Mother Nature a Midol. Really, we're done. You need to get this figured out.
I will say, when I was at Disney in December of 2020, I was thinking, well, most of the time they're like, oh yeah, it's comfortable. It's just a little chilly in the mornings. I was like, oh, okay. I did not prepare. It was cold. Like cold the whole time, unless you're in the sun and then it's
yeah.
But how often are you in direct sunlight outside of Toy Story Land and Animal Kingdom?
Yeah. Agreed. This morning, remember we were talking, and because I actually live streamed this morning too at 7. But like I was talking about my allergies, where my eyes were watering really bad.
Mm-hmm.
I turned on our humidifier, and I put the Vapo Steam in it. Hey Vicks, I go through this a lot. Come sponsor me. It's supposed to be a cough suppressant, but it actually helps with my allergies. And this makes me really sad. Do not take by mouth. Like, who decided to drink this? And on the clear wrap that was around it, it was just printed, do not take by mouth, over and over. And I'm like, okay, I get the point. I can't drink it. But who was the dummy that decided to drink it?
Somebody.
Is it like the
probably
same?
Wanting to get high.
Huh?
Somebody probably wanting to get high.
Oh, I was like, is it the same concept as I'm going to drink hand sanitizer to not get the COVID?
He's talking about clothing. I can't really see it very well. Mine.
Clothing in Florida that we get has no wool or warm qualities to it unless you go to a specialty shop. Victoria says, do you ladies think the climate change is changing because the world is warming up too much because the glaciers are melting? I am not a scientist.
I'm not a scientist.
So I have no idea.
Although I do like to watch a lot of history stuff. I don't really read a lot of history. And lately I've been obsessed with castles. So I was reading all the history about the castles in Scotland and how they're linked to royalty, and the castles in France. And then we have mansions, can't call them castles. We have mansions here in the United States that are castle-like. But one thing I didn't even know this, and I guess because in school we didn't really learn about royalty and like the history of that, but the royal family are descended from Scottish, because Scotland, the Scotland Queen Mary, Mary Stuart, Mary of Scots, she was Scottish descent but had English in there too. Right. And when her son James, when she had him, and she married a man that was from England, so he had Scottish and England descent. And now he was king of Scotland, but also after Queen Elizabeth the Virgin. The Virgin Queen, and I say that because they don't really know. She just never had children and never got married. After she passed, King James became King of England and Scotland, and that's what initiated the United Kingdom. So they're all united, and all the royalty through there originate from Scotland. So technically,
I'm Irish, so maybe somewhere in there, like I'm a 75th cousin, 5,000 times removed.
So technically, the United Kingdom royalty is originated from Scotland. They have other, like, everything's, but yeah, that's how it originated.
Climate change question, but still interesting. But yeah, Victoria, I'm not a scientist. I was not good at science, but I would assume probably the difference probably is maybe warming up. And like Sean says, Earth, like all other planets, go through cycles despite our best efforts. If you want to help make a change, definitely recycling, making sure that the lights that you aren't using are off. Don't watch me. I've got like 3 lights on that I don't need at the moment. Probably 4 that I don't need on at the moment. Yeah, that one. But I've got this light, 2 in the kitchen, and my bedroom light are all on. So stuff like that. Using like recycling your plastic, and that kind of thing will definitely help. Do you think it has to do with pollution or no? Well, I'm sure that pollution probably does play a factor in it. I know that people that live in California and New York, where there's a ton of smog, when everyone was staying home for those few months, said like, we can see stars, we can see the sky. And like for them, because normally it was like so much smog and pollution, they couldn't normally see that. So I think that's really interesting that much downtime created the fact that they could then see the stars at night. Is that a slap bracelet?
It's a ruler.
If that's a slap ruler?
Yep. And it says, no drama, llama.
And Sean says, yep, help where we can. We have a bag for like our town, like our area doesn't have recycling. Our area, Hillsborough, doesn't have a recycling program because we are such a small rural community that our trash is actually sent an hour and a half away, and they tried to implement a recycling program, but it was actually costing the city more than they thought it would, so they discontinued it. So Sam and I do try to like reuse where we can. Like we save up our pop cans, our sparkling water cans, we turn them in for, we don't have deposits in Kansas on bottles and cans and stuff.
Now
so,
clap your hands. Now clap your hands.
I mean, like the factory industries have to do something to know. I mean, that I don't know. Like I said, I'm not a scientist. I couldn't tell you, but what I could, like I was saying, there's lots of stuff that we as individuals can do to help. Like I said, don't be me and have like a ton of lights on. Sam yells at me about that all the time. Like not like yell, but it's like, Lena, why is every light in the house on? So I need to be better about that. But like I also when we go on vacation, I really like that Disney promotes recycling. They give you a recycling can and a trash can. So, that's as far as globally, I don't know. I'm just a para. I am not a scientist. I'm sure if you Googled it, you probably could find some pretty interesting information. And like I tell my kids at school, always do your research. Because what I tell you, you may not agree with, or you may find facts to tell me that I'm wrong. And I'm okay with being wrong.
Oh, dude, I already tried to let you know. Stop it.
Loki.
But with the castles that I was talking about, is like I also looked to see like what they looked like, the best place for visiting, and I was like, oh, this is awesome. There's some really amazing castles out there.
Colorado actually has a real castle. In Manitou, it's called Marymount Castle, and it actually was brought over.
Oh, transplanted?
Yep. Okay, this is going to make you
There's
laugh.
one in Arizona that's built into the side of a mountain.
This will make you laugh. A Mears taxi just pulled up in front of our neighbor's house.
Mears? That's funny.
Mears. I'm like, dude, that's a really long taxi ride.
Oh, crap. I'll be right back.
Okay. Thank you. That's very reassuring coming from you, like being a teacher. I mean, that's very cool of you. Like I said, I'm not a scientist. I can't tell you what does or doesn't, cause it or whatnot. I can tell you ways that you yourself can help, minimize it, but that's it. I'm trying to figure out what is going on. I'm very confused. It literally says Mears Taxi on the side of it. For those of you who don't know, Mears is a company that deals with transportation at the Orlando airport. So I'm going, like, what is happening in front of my house? Unless my house has been somehow transported to Florida and no one told me, I'm very confused. Okay, now they're moved. No. Okay, and now they've left. So I don't know. Now I'm very confused. But that was highly entertaining. Here, it left, and I'm very confused now because it pulled up in front of my neighbor's house and then backed up in front of my driveway, and then the person got out of the car and then looked around and got back in the car and then left. And I'm going,
this one has 47 modules, and some of them are interactive.
Okay. I'm trying to see if it tells.
You know what we could do?
What's that?
Hold on.
If you have not been to Manitou or been to Marymount Castle, I highly recommend it. They have a tea room, and it's so incredibly pretty. Growing up, I've been there a couple times, and I got to have tea there when I was elementary age. Back then, the lady who kind of oversaw the tea room was the mom of one of the boys my oldest brother Mike went to school with. Her son's name was Patrick, and unfortunately he was killed in an auto accident. So my brother and him were really close. So my oldest nephew's middle name is Patrick, named after him. So when we would go to Colorado on vacation, we got to go to Marymount Castle and explore and have tea. And I thought, let me tell you, that was so cool. And I really want to go back at some point because it's so pretty there. So if you ever have a chance to go, I highly recommend. Highly recommend. And I'm sure that by now she's not, in charge of the tea room because that's been quite a long time. Wait, you guys have tea rooms just like the Grand Floridian. I've been dreaming of going to places like that. Yes, actually, and I haven't been, and I want to go, and I think there's a group of us at school that have talked about going over the summer. It's called the Three Sisters Tea Room in Canton. I see it, which is like 10 minutes away, and they have a tea room. And so we're talking about going over the summer. You can, Victoria, I would Google tea rooms in Miami, and I'm certain you can probably find a tea room that's very similar to the Grand Floridian that will probably cost you a little less. French Quarter.
Well, the reason I brought it up is because we're both staying there.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Let's look at the gallery.
Lucky girl living in Princess Land. That's Lena. I don't live in Princess Land. We Sam and I don't have kids, and we both have good jobs that afford us the opportunities to do a lot. And growing up, my parents' idea of going on vacation was touring military bases and pointing out empty plots of land that used to be things when my dad was there. And at 10, 11, 12, I'm going, this is the most boring thing I've ever seen. Get me out of here and find me something to do. And as a 34-year-old adult, I wish I could go back and tell myself at that age, enjoy this, because you will wish that you could go back and experience this all over again one day.
It's just so, like, I don't know.
No, it didn't used to be called French Quarter. It was something else.
Yeah, it was very southern. And
wasn't it Dixie Landing?
Yeah, I think so. But you've got Scat Cats Club, pool with a water slide. Most of the moderate resorts have that.
I do have to say that I'm really glad that the boardwalk got rid of the creepy clown pool.
Yeah. I refused to stay there because of that, but now that it's gone, I'm happy to stay there.
I'm like, no. That whatever that drink is looks really good. It looks pretty.
I think it's the Hurricane, because they mentioned the Hurricane in the other tab. Like when I was back there, it said,
yes,
on a Hurricane.
My dad was in the military. My brother Howard was in the military. My husband was in the military. My uncle was in the military, and my bestie down here was in the Air Force.
Me? Yep.
We don't talk about the Air Force. We talk about the Army. But then my uncle was in the Navy.
There's the baguette you could do.
They haven't brought back the fun runs, but I'm hoping that by December they will have the fun runs back. You don't get a medal, but you get beignets. So I'd be okay with that.
Cajun campfire activities, bike rentals.
That is something that I really like. That even if they have brought fire pits for all of the resorts, and they will have a campfire with s'mores at a certain location every night. And each resort, I think, does it a little differently, because when we were at Pop Century in 2019, it was $6 for a s'mores kit, and you had to buy the s'mores kit or like obviously have your own. But when we were at All Star Movies, and I don't know if it was because they were having problems keeping the s'mores kits in stock, you could go roast marshmallows for free. And you can't light them on fire. There's like little like rings that you have to stand on or behind. And if it catches on fire, you have to blow it out. But like if you catch it on fire as an adult, and this kind of depends on the cast member as well. They'll kind of let you keep it. They'll tell you keep it in the fire, or when you pull it up, you have to blow it out. So, because it's a safety thing.
And here and it looks like you can take the boat to Disney Springs,
Mm-hmm.
or you can walk out over to the other side of the resort that is Riverside. I don't know. I'm excited too.
Chris, I'll be there before Christy, and Christy's going.
I know. My trip's over a year away. But I plan to transfer to that's not what I put. Oh, there we go. This one. It's taking forever.
Okay, it's not just me. I was thinking earlier, oh my gosh, DTA is taking forever. Hey, every time it gets really slow, that means they're loading something.
That is such a pretty shot.
That is a beautiful shot. That has to be from...
That's a sky view. It's from a drone.
It has to be. That's awesome, Victoria.
You really don't need the Skyliner, but...
Like I said, I am highly terrified of the Skyliner. And that's one of the... Sam... I think one of the reasons why Sam was willing to change, especially for the cheaper price, is because we do have several days in Epcot, and we want to be able to try some of the drinks for Festival of the Holidays and whatnot. And I know sometimes depending on the traffic, they will have some buses on hand, but you never want it to be they had buses in the morning but not at night, and now you're playing ring around the resorts to try to get back to yours.
Yeah.
So I am excited.
I definitely hope to be able to get water view at Boardwalk 2 nights. We'll see. And I want to go to Jelly Rolls. I just want to experience the nightlife at the Boardwalk while I'm there.
I want to go to Jelly Rolls too. But unfortunately, I choked on a blueberry. Unfortunately, I'm one of those people that likes to go to bed early. And Christy's like, "You're not staying with me. We're going."
No, I stay. I close the places down. I open them up and I close them down.
And I'm sitting here going, that makes me tired.
I remember my last night at Swan and Dolphin. That night I was out there in front of the Swan and Dolphin taking pictures, and then the next morning I was at the Skyliner before they were allowing people to come towards the resort towards Epcot. And I was like, is it open yet? And he said, well, you can't get back here until about an hour from now, but you can go to any of the other resorts. And so I was like, oh, okay. So I went over to the Riviera. And I mean, with your 15-minute, if roughly 15-minute ride to the Riviera, and then roughly 15 minutes back, that's 30 minutes. So I walked around the resort for 30 minutes taking pictures and stuff. There's so much to do in that Boardwalk area. And then you can jump on the Skyliner and visit the other resorts on the Skyliner.
So let me know in the chat or in the comments if you are watching on replay. Are you team Skyliner or are you team bus? Because I know.
Easy for me. I do not like the buses. I'm too claustrophobic. Skyliner, you can request a seat by yourself.
And see, I am team bus. I would rather even have to stand than do that. I also have a fear of heights, which is really funny that I like to fly. But the Skyliner, just like looking at it gives me full on anxiety.
Have you tried it yet?
I have not. I can't even watch the like if people are live streaming and they're like, oh, we're getting on the Skyliner, I'm like, nope, bye.
So I'm afraid of heights too. And the only little bit of scariness on that is when you're coming into a landing zone, because it's coming in hot. That's what I'd call it. But everything else is just really smooth. If the wind blows really heavy, it's a little unsettling, but it's fine.
Hello, Eric Lee. Welcome in. Victoria says, now it's your turn to tell us about your families, Lena and Christy. Okay. Well, I'm married. Been married for 15 years. And my husband's name is Sam. And that took me a second. Because I was thinking about multiple things at once. You're going to tell him that. Lena forgot your name on live stream. We have a cat. Her name is Peaches. We do not have children. I have infertility issues, so we don't have children. I am a special education para. We are closed right now due to high level of cases in our district, but we go back tomorrow. Fingers crossed that the kids can now stay healthy to spring break. And Christy and I are both our travel agents for Magical Enchanted Vacations. And I like to read and go on road trips with my husband.
Sounds like you're doing an ad for a.
I am really boring.
You're doing an ad for a date. I like long walks.
I like books and road trips and long walks on the beach. I was like,
me, I'm a very private person. I try not to say my family's name on live stream when I'm talking about them. It comes out sometimes, but I'm married almost 12 years and have 2 children.
Loki, shush.
I know. I have 2 dogs. And I don't discuss my what I do for a career on any kind of social platform. So there's that. Wow, you're learning a lot about me. Yeah.
The reason I don't have a problem holding Sam's name is because he does do the channel with me. It's our combined channel. He sometimes live streams with us and sometimes he doesn't, but he is at work right now. So you'll see him in videos and whatnot at random times.
I'm going to go put him in the crate so he stops.
Okay. We're consistent. If you hang out on our lives, whether on my channel or Christy's channel, you'll hear us yelling at her dog Loki like all the time. We're like, Loki, stop! It's like having a kid that you're like, stop! I'm doing something right now. And Victoria says, I'm Team Monorail or Bus because I've not been on the Skyliner yet. I like the Monorail as well. It's another one that I will ride, but it gives me a little bit of anxiety because I know that it can break down. And I mean, I know a bus can break down, but you're not in the air. Something that's recently developed for me is panic attacks. And the Skyliner gives me panic attacks. Yeah, it sounded like an ad. I really was trying to think. So I do crafts. I do a crafting live stream. We're picking it back up in February, and it's once a month on Sunday mornings.
Oh yeah, I'm back.
I'm like, I can't unmute you because you muted yourself. Sorry that I sounded like an ad. I apologize.
It was funny. Well, mine sounds like I'm like not willing to share.
She's part of the witness protection program.
Yeah, but I do it for their sake, and I definitely keep my professional life 100% separate from social.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't talk about that. I've had people personally message me and ask me about my personal life, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't share.
That's weird.
Well, not like that. They'll ask me like, what is your employer? I mean, what do you do for a living? And I'm like, yeah, I don't share that. Sorry. And I know it's just people wanting to get to know me on a personal level, and I completely understand that, but I do keep my professional life 100% separate. And because at least my husband is very off social media. He doesn't have any social media, no Facebook, no Instagram, none of that. He has in the past, but he deleted them all a couple of years back. I respect that, so I don't.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really, yeah.
So anyway, back to Disney.
My son does have social media.
Your son does have social media. It's really funny when he jumps on the live stream.
Yeah, because I never know. He's always changing his name on social media. I never know what it is because he doesn't use his name on any of his social medias. He always uses something off the wall that relates to what he likes to do, and he's always changing it. My daughter wants social media, and I'm like, nope. He's 14. She's 9.
There's a huge difference between 14 and 9.
Yeah. But, I mean, the whole reason I'm okay with him getting in our live streams and chatting is because he doesn't use his real information. Yeah.
Yeah. He likes to mess with you, too, sometimes.
Yeah.
One time he's like, hey, Christy lady, you're pretty. And we're like, what? And then all of a sudden in the background we heard him like start cracking up and we're like, oh, it's him.
Yeah.
Oh well, I'm sorry, Victoria. Oh my gosh. I don't know if I'm excited for school tomorrow or not.
I have to go get my biometrics.
For what?
For work. Biometric screening for work.
Yay.
Which means I have to fast tonight and tomorrow morning.
Ew. That's never fun. Hello, welcome in.
Libya? Wow. Welcome in. I said that right? Libya.
Mm-hmm. Fahim? Nishat? Thanks for hanging out with us on this Monday afternoon. So, Sam and I were talking, and we're trying to decide if we have done like HelloFresh and Blue Apron and stuff in the past. We've liked like some of the recipes that we've gotten, but we like leftovers, and it seems like, especially for Sam, who works a very labor-intensive job, it's almost like it's supposed to be 2 portions is enough for one person. And just because of how hungry he is when he gets home. And so I'm like, if we do it again, do we? Hey, Luna. Do we do it again, or do we try it again? Do we? Hello, Elise between the ears. Welcome in.
See your eyes.
Bye. Do we try it again, or do we maybe go to the website and look at some of the recipes and see which ones, because you can find all the recipes online.
Are you talking to HelloFresh? Have you tried Daily Harvest? They're all pretty much fruit-based ones.
No, I haven't. I've thought about, if it wasn't for the fact that on Weight Watchers blended like smoothies are so high in points, I've seen, I think it's, hold on, it'll come to me in a minute, like Daily Harvest or something that's like smoothies that you get and that you can keep in the freezer and make.
And they have, that's the company that has the overnight oats that I was telling you about.
Oh, okay. But like smoothies are so high in fruit because once it's processed, your body doesn't have to work to break it down. So, not that I'm like a nutritionist by any stretch of the imagination. But I'm like, I don't know. I feel like we didn't. It's one of those back and forth where I think I might try to find a couple of the recipes that we liked and just create them that way instead of getting the meal kits.
You could do that. I feel like it's cheaper to just get the meal kits though, because if you buy stuff to make it, you're not using all that stuff and you end up throwing it away.
Yeah. I think what I'd have to do is to go, okay, this meal uses sour cream and only like 4 tablespoons. Let's find a couple of the recipes that use sour cream, that kind of thing. So, but it's, I don't know. It's one of those things that like you think about and you're like, do I do it again? Do I not? And then like the dates that they have for delivery for our area, I would be at school. And so it's like, it's going to set outside in the weather. And would it even still be here by the time we got home?
I think you would have to wait until you're
on summer break.
Yeah. It's taking forever to go through these.
Like, it looks like I had a black, like, the way there's a shadow, it looks like I had a black eye, and I'm, like, going, what is wrong with my eye? It's just the shadow. I'm like, okay. Yeah, I had to finish up my Infinitex, not last week, but the week before, and I'm so glad I got them done. For those of you who don't know, Infinitex are training videos that we have to do for work, and they're, like, on bloodborne pathogens, how to be a superstar para, being aware of issues in teens. I don't want to say the word. Starts with an S.
Oh yeah, you can't say that.
Yeah, I can't say that. And stuff like that. And like the videos, you're sitting here going, oh my gosh, I'm gonna fall asleep. And literally you can't, and you have to take a quiz afterwards. So you literally are sitting here going.
You could say su.
But so we've gotten to the point where we run the video and we'll do something else on our phone because it's the same exact videos year after year.
You hear her?
Luna. You're such a drama queen.
She is. She's spoiled.
She is spoiled.
You need your haircut. You're just sliding all over the floor because the fur is under your little paws.
Well, you could always have her hold on to a pole and use her as a mop.
She'll get a haircut soon. Really?
That is her opinion on that.
She's looking out the window.
Ah.
She pushed the blinds out of the way. I closed the blinds because she can't see the dogs out there. But for some reason, she thinks she can. So she sits there, she stands there and looks out the window barking at nothing. So I closed the blinds and now she's just like pushed them out of the way.
She's a hoot. So what are you doing for dinner?
I haven't even had lunch yet.
It is 1 o'clock, girlfriend.
We've been on here since noon.
You could have eaten.
While I'm on screen?
Yes.
I am hungry. I may go make a sandwich or something.
I eat my breakfast on stream.
I may do a keto grilled cheese.
Okay, what is the keto grilled cheese?
Well, it's keto bread.
Okay.
And you just make it the same way because cheese keto friendly.
Okay. Are you team butter or team mayonnaise?
I do a little bit of mayonnaise, actually.
One of my friends did that, and I'm like, what are you doing to your grilled cheese?
And a pickle. A pickle with it's good, too.
Okay. When we were at Universal, at the Today Cafe, they have what's called the Big Apple grilled cheese, and they make a grilled cheese sandwich, and they put thin slices of apple in it. It was so good. Like,
well, apple's not keto.
Because it's got sugar.
Yeah. Pickles are.
Sweet pickles or dill pickles?
I use gourmet pickles, and I put a little ranch, Hidden Valley Ranch packets in it.
Well, at least you eat good ranch. Victoria says she's team butter. Your dog is opinionated.
Yep.
Just like her mama.
She's nuts. Lena.
Yeah, go make you a sandwich real quick.
I might. I feel kind of weak, but I don't feel great today in general.
Aww.
Allergies. What's that? It's like the sinus drainage and stuff. Right?
Yeah, I get that. 100%.
Man.
I had 2 cheese quesadillas for lunch. I get the La Barita. It's a low carb tortilla, and they don't taste bad. Some of the low carb or carb conscious ones kind of has a funky taste. These don't. They're actually really good. And then each one of them had 0.75 ounces of cheese because I weighed out my cheese.
Ooh, you know what I'll do? This makes it non-grilled cheese. I have some bacon that I cooked yesterday. I can heat that up and put it on my grilled cheese.
Make a BLT.
I don't have any lettuce, but I was making a BLT minus lettuce the other day.
I ordered a BLT that way at Arby's, and they went, "You want a BLT minus lettuce?" I said, "Yeah, because you don't have good lettuce." And they're like, "What?" I'm like, "You don't have good lettuce. You use iceberg lettuce." And they're like, "Yeah, so?" And I'm like, "That's horrible lettuce. It's actually horrible for you."
Mm-hmm.
And the guy goes, "Really?" I said, "Yeah, it is like the worst lettuce for you." And he's like, "Well, what do you have?" And I Sam actually walked away. I pull out a bag of spring mix out of my purse. And he's like, "Really?"
Arugula is not really great for you either. Spinach is probably the best.
Yeah. But too much spinach will actually give you kidney stones. I learned that from an episode of Reba. All the life lessons we learned from TV. I can't cook to save my life, so I have to order from outside. If you can read a recipe, you can cook. Even if it's something fairly... My sister-in-law could not even boil water when her and my brother got married. She grew up in a very well-off family, and their parents were like, "We expect our children to marry well-off and not have to work." and for some reason she decided to marry my brother. So she actually had to learn how to cook. She couldn't cook, she couldn't do laundry, and I'm like, I've been doing laundry since like middle school. But like, I mean, I was 3 when they got married. You have to realize there's like an 18-year age difference between my oldest brother and I. So he's like an adult, and I'm like, my parents really did start over. So, but yeah, if you can read a recipe, there's a lot of really easy recipes out there. Grilled cheese is a pretty easy recipe. Hamburger steak is a really easy one. It's something that I grew up eating. It's like it's pretty much a hamburger patty, but it's flattened out really thin, and you cook it with salt and pepper, and flip it. I make hamburger steaks about this big around. And they turn out, and I cook my onions, so like I'll sauteed onions on top. Go make you a sandwich. You're making
I'm so hungry.
You're making me nervous. Like, I don't have a phone number. 911. What's ringing? Well, my friend and I were live streaming, and she's in Tennessee.
Okay, I will go make you something to eat.
Like, it's giving me anxiety, girlfriend. We call this Christy's death portrait because she looks like she's dead, but it's actually because Christy used to model, and these are actually gummy worms that are in her hair. I will just make me big until she gets back. I can somewhat follow a pasta recipe, but I have to have my mom help me cook the sauce. If you are uncertain, or if you are a younger, individual, always get help with using a stove, because stoves get hot and you can get burned even as an adult. There's a reason why we have a first aid kit on hand. I need to figure out what I'm having for lunch tomorrow at school. I have 3 30-minute breaks. 2 of them I have the option to eat. The third one I do not. I gave up my lunch hour so that there would be a para on support for the lunchroom. So I get a separate check from that for working in the cafeteria. But my first break is at 8:30 in the morning. I have something small like fruit or a protein bar or a yogurt, because it's pretty much like an extension of my breakfast. And then my second break is at 10:30, and depending on the day, I either take a half an hour to an hour. It just depends on what day of the week it is and what's going on. But tomorrow is Tuesday, so I'm trying to decide what to take. Sometimes I will make a wrap, and I will make like a turkey wrap with lettuce and shredded cheese. Sometimes I will, we get those frozen Tyson chicken strips, and I will air fry those, and I'll like air fry up like 2 or 3 of them, and I will like slice them up. Sometimes I'll slice it up. Sometimes depending on how long it is compared to my tortilla, I will just kind of put down like lettuce and cheese, and then roll it all up, and then cut it in. Sometimes I'll cut it in half. Sometimes I'll cut it into pinwheels. If you don't know what pinwheels are, you take your food, like your wrap, and you cut it into little wedges about yay big, and you can either leave it like whole together and put it in like a container, or you can put a toothpick through them and lay them down kind of like a skewer or a kebab. It depends on kind of how fancy I'm feeling. I will say that if I'm going through a phase where I'm feeling more hungry, I will cut it into pinwheels, because it like having 2 halves or 6 pinwheels. The 6 pinwheels, even though it's the same amount, it will tell my brain I'm having more food this way. And I use Hidden Valley Ranch. I weigh it out. I have a food scale, and I have little solo cups, like condiment containers, and I will weigh out my just lost it. Ranch. Rice. I like eating rice at lunch. Sometimes I will get those. I like catching them on sale about the beginning of the school year. They're minute rice in like a container that you microwave. And I will grab one of those. Sometimes I'll grab that with some like chicken and put on top and eat that. So I'm just trying to decide what to do for my lunch. I really just don't know what I want to do. I'm out of chicken tenders, so I can't do chicken tenders. And I don't know if I want a turkey wrap, which is what I had last week. I'm out of chicken salad. Yeah, I'm a youngster, but I'm a young adult with this. Hey, you know what? I bet even with a disability that you can probably do something simple like making a grilled cheese and tomato soup, or maybe put like a personal pizza in the oven. I don't need to know your disability. I know I have my own disabilities. I have asthma. I have anxiety. I have epilepsy. If you don't know what epilepsy is, I have seizures. Anxiety is real recent. I've decided that when you hit in your mid-30s, you get anxiety, and I've suffered panic attacks since September. Oh, hey Sean, glad that you're back hanging out with us. I'm trying to decide what to have for lunch tomorrow. I need some ideas. I really don't want soup because then I have to go all the way down to the workroom to and that's something else. I have to walk all the way across the school. And I say that like it's really huge. It's like a 2-minute walk from the classroom I work in to the teacher's workroom. But by the time you get down there, and there's always somebody in there and they want to talk, and you're like, I have half an hour to eat. Like, and then I need to be back in the classroom. Like, can I eat in peace? You have joined the anxiety. Oh my gosh, I have joined the anxiety club. I don't want to be part of the anxiety club. Like, I don't like it. Like, it was utterly terrifying. Backstory on that. I went on a solo trip in September to Disney. And it was the week after my birthday, so a week after I turned 34. I flew out on a Wednesday and flew back on a Sunday. And I flew in on Thursday and flew home on Sunday. And no, it was Wednesday. I'm trying to remember. The first night that I was in a theme park, I was at Magic Kingdom, and I was going to go to the after-hours Halloween party and everything, and I started like almost like I couldn't catch my breath, and all of a sudden like people were I felt like people were too close. Like, I had never seen the theme parks in September so busy. I don't know if people were trying to go, like, get in a trip when they thought would be slow before, like, the 50th anniversary or what it was. But I've seen less people in the theme parks on New Year's Eve than there was that day. I don't know what it was. Like, I was feeling like I needed space, so I rented an electric scooter to kind of have my own bubble, and it didn't help. Like, all of a sudden, I start hyperventilating, I can't breathe, and I'm like full on sobbing as I'm trying to drive this EVC through Magic Kingdom and to get out. Like, I had already checked in. There went that mirrors thing again. What is happening? I'd already checked in for the Halloween party and everything. And I became this sobbing, like it was insane. And this poor cast member was like, "Are you okay?" And I can't stop sobbing. I can't catch my breath. It was utterly like I didn't understand what was going on with myself, and I'm like, what is wrong with me? And then so that was Friday. So I did get in on Thursday. So Thursday when I got in, I was feeling a little anxious because like I've done a solo trip before, but it was in November 2020. There wasn't a lot of people. I went to Universal and whatnot. And then I don't know what the difference was, but I couldn't function. And so the cast member was absolutely wonderful. They refunded me for my Halloween party ticket, even though I'd already checked in. They refunded me the full price of the EVC deposit and everything. They refunded me for that day of the theme park. And they got me back to the contemporary where I was staying. And like I went in and I went to bed. And I got up on Saturday. And I'm like, okay, I'm transferring resorts today. I need to put XYZ in like my electronics in my bag. And then I'm going to go to Epcot. So I get to Epcot and I'm wandering around World Showcase and I'm in the middle of the loop of World Showcase right around, if you're going Canada around, I was at about the African outpost and all of a sudden I'm starting to sweat. I'm sweating and I'm shivering at the same time. I'm in the middle of another panic attack. And like, I'm almost in tears trying to walk around the rest of World Showcase and leave. I probably spent maybe a total of maybe 10 hours between 2 days in the theme parks. The rest of that Saturday, I slept in my room and I ended up having to clean the bathroom because I woke up and I got sick. And this right here, Sean nailed it on head. The feeling of being out of control is absolutely terrifying. And I was alone. And I think that made it worse. And Sam was really nervous. I think he was downright scared of how our trip in December was going to go. Because he's like, I don't know. Are you sure you're going to be okay? I don't know. And I'm like, it can only be better. It can't get any worse. Yeah.
The only time I get anxiety is during like fireworks shows and stuff because there's so many people.
Yeah,
or on the buses.
The buses don't bother me because I can move, but the fireworks, we stayed for Enchantment. One Friday night of our trip. And Sam's like, he's kind of talking me through it. And he's like, there's people like, and he was kind of the lady on like, cause he was on this side of me and another lady was over here. And the lady looked at me and goes, I will help you make a bubble if we need to. Cause we were right up against the fence, in the hub. So I knew no one could get behind me. And that did help. And she's like, we will make a bubble if we, I'm like, thank you, random lady who sat beside me.
That's what I do. I put my bag down. And if I have like a jacket in there, I'll take it out and put it down on the others so people don't. And it's not because I don't want them near. It's because I will literally have an anxiety attack if they're that close to me.
Yeah.
That's why I hate the buses because everybody's standing and they're like hanging on to you and the rails and the bus moves and they lean against you. Mm-mm.
Sean says it has left me to the point I can't travel by myself because I live with the fear that it's going to happen again. Pretty much. I don't think I will go on a solo trip anymore. And like, I'm glad that I wasn't with someone. Like, I'm glad I wasn't with, like, say, Christy, because like her having to deal with my panic attack isn't like fair to her. But so I'm glad I was by myself, but I wish Sam had been there. And Sam felt horrible because he's like, I'm, here and there's nothing he can do except try to talk me through, like, to breathe.
I'm drinking Coke Zero. It's making me burp.
Okay, that is the thing about diet soda. It makes you burp. That and root beer. 100%.
It actually has bacon on it. Victoria said it looks good. It has bacon on it. We're doing dirty keto today.
With bacon?
Bacon, mayonnaise, Diet Coke. Well, Coke Zero. Dirty keto. It's still keto, but it's dirty keto.
I'm making me another drink. If you didn't see my Fitness Friday video last week, I'm making one of my Fitness Friday video drinks. Like, I've become obsessed with it ever since. Okay, see, and we're back to what does Lena eat for lunch tomorrow? All this circled around of me trying to figure out what to have for lunch.
We were at Jingle Cruise, and the area was beyond crowded, and I had to just leave. I was literally clawing at people to get out. It was not good. Yeah, I can't stand the crowds. Like the cavalcades and stuff, I don't like to get them where it's crowded. I like to get them where people don't normally.
By the trash cans. I
Yeah.
have found that if you sit by the trash cans, like, there's tons of space. People are like, you're sitting by a trash can. I'm like, yep, yes I am. This trash can is my friend and his name is Bob.
Well, and if you haven't eaten at, oh my gosh, the place by Jungle Cruise.
Skipper's Canteen.
Skipper Canteen, yeah. If you haven't eaten there, eat there. It's so good.
I've heard mixed reviews on Skipper's Canteen. I've heard people say it's really good, and I've heard people say they had to send everything back. It was really bad.
Well, if you're not adventurous, you're not going to like it.
I'm not adventurous.
If you like plain Jane stuff, it's not for you, but it's an adventurous place. And the majority of their menu is gluten-free.
Well, that's good. That is a good thing. I put dinner in the oven in half an hour.
It's 1:30 and I'm just eating lunch.
Well, we eat dinner about between 3:45 and 4 on the days that I'm home. That Mira's taxi thing just drove by my house again. I'm so confused.
We like Skipper Canteen so much that we ate there twice in one trip.
That speaks highly of it. Taco Tuesday, maybe. We did tacos Saturday and we did tacos yesterday for lunch. I'm a little tacoed out.
I will say Skipper Canteen's kind of pricey.
Skipper's Canteen is pretty pricey.
Definitely for a park restaurant.
Mm-hmm. Now, I might do a walking taco. Because a walking taco to me is kind of different. Oh, no, I'm not stressed out about it, Victoria, not at all. It's something that, like, I'm very open about that happened. I talk about it in a lot of my videos from when I was there. So it's no big deal to me, honest. Like, one of the things I've said from the beginning is that if something that happens to me, like, if it can help someone else, then I'm all about talking about it. It's not something that I try to hide either. So
You'll learn that about us. We're pretty much open books about ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Everything like my professional life and my family is kind of off limits, but
yeah,
myself, sure.
So if you're watching the stream or watching the replay and you don't know what a walking taco is, I've been told they're a very Midwest thing. A walking taco is you take a soda bottle. Train of thought gone. Walking tacos. You take a to-go size bag of Doritos nacho chips and you crush them up and you put lettuce and shredded cheese and taco meat on top with and if you want sour cream or salsa, and you eat it out of the bag. They're very popular at sporting events around here because it's all pretty well self-contained. Typically, we do offer a bowl like this to dump it in once it's made, or like we'll say, do you want it in a bag? Do you want it in the bag, or do you want it in a bowl?
So it's kind of like burrito bowls.
Kind of, but the base is Doritos nacho cheese strips. So we sell them a lot at football and basketball games. And so I do eat those at school. And they're fairly simple. And I guess I don't have to heat up my taco meat. I could eat it cold.
Are school lunches and breakfast free for the kids there? Yeah, those too. I guess that's nationwide.
$5 for teachers.
Is that nationwide?
Oh, the free or the $5?
The free for students?
If the school is participating, yes. It's still going on. We're waiting to see if they're going to extend it to next year as well. I would have to say, and this is like me personally, I would be okay with a little bit of higher taxes to continue offering free lunches for students, simply because I know the backstory, not necessarily of students I work with, but of other students who may not have enough to eat at home. And that whether that's where I work, where Christy lives, where Sean lives, where Victoria, I don't care where you are. I don't think a kid should have to pay for lunch. And if that means I have to pay $20 more a year to make it happen, let's make it happen.
Well, here's the thing is like, they have children that don't eat when they get home.
Yep.
And they also have before lunches were free, they had plans that students would get on if they were one of the kids that didn't get to eat at home. But they were given a card, so when you go through the checkout line, you have to give them this card, and it's very embarrassing for the student, especially high school students.
The way ours work is we have a computer. Everything's computerized now, and they have a binder like this, and they will just go through, and each grade level is a different tab, and you have to go through an alphabetical order, and it's just sheets of barcodes. Each student has a barcode, and they just scan it. All right, boop, 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 and it's just they just scan each one. I think it makes it so much better so that if situations like that don't come up.
Yeah.
And no, Sean, it's not free to Title I. Everyone has to pay, and it's $5. Sometimes I'm really lucky that I'm good friends with the cafeteria ladies, and I'll go in and go, so what are we having today? Oh, we're having cucumbers. You want some? Sure. And they'll give me a bowl of cucumbers and not charge me. Yeah, teachers have to pay for their meals. And I'm okay with that. I think that the pricing is a little crazy, but we are really lucky. We are, and it could be, I don't know about other districts. Ours is contracted out through a company called OPA, and they do not only the regular lunch, but for teachers, you can order a salad, and the salad is like this deep. It's like the size of my head. And there's tons of different salads that they do, and it changes every day. So it to me is worth $5, but I can make a salad at home with the same stuff. Now, don't get me wrong, sometimes I'll go, oh, we're having such and such at school, so I'll sometimes go ahead and eat it, but which reminds me, I need to put money on my lunch account.
Oh, sorry, I'm doing a survey.
Survey says
the Buzz Agent survey.
It's based on the percentage of kids that are on free or reduces lunch in Florida. It has to be over 80%. I don't know. Hey, Paul, welcome back in to our afternoon live. I don't know. I say I'm a para. I really don't know much of what's going on. I just make sure that I'm where I'm supposed to be at any given moment. I still don't know much more. I'm going, oh, I can have, nope, I'm out of that. Oh, I can have, nope, I'm out of that. Sometimes I usually keep those Velveeta shells and cheese bowls on hand that are like microwavable. The new version of Easy Mac. Because I can throw one of those in the microwave really quick on a lunch and take like and cook broccoli or something to go with it. But I don't have that.
Excuse me.
I don't know. Like, I've never, like, this is hard. I don't know what I'm eating tomorrow. Everyone's question must be, Lena, what did you eat for lunch? I don't know.
Oh my gosh, this survey is forever long.
So if you're wondering or you haven't seen the video I made, this is one of those water mix-ins that you can get mixed with 7-Up Zero. You can do it with Sprite Zero, any diet lemon lime soda.
Okay.
I have to say, I love having my humidifier right here. I feel better than I did this morning.
You know how sometimes Buzz Agent will send you a product before they send you email notifications?
Yes.
That's happened to me twice with Influencer. I received like some hair gel a couple weeks ago in like a Vox box.
Uh-huh.
Like, oh, I didn't know I was getting this. And then like 2-3 days later, I got a email about it. And the same thing happened with some deodorant for my daughter to use. And I got it like 4 days ago, and I just now got the email saying, you're getting this. I'm like, no, I just already got it.
Oh my God. So Sean, Mickey Sightings sent me this photo. It says signs of high functioning anxiety. On the outside, hardworking, detail-oriented, high-achieving, ambitious, perfectionist, organized, well-prepared, calm, does well under pressure. I fit some of those. I am not organized. I'm like a crazy mess person. I'm one of those that as a teenager, like there was a path through my room, and like I've seen this meme where it talks about like mom wants to know where such and such is, and you can go right to it. And how do you know that it's not? How do you know, like, whatever the meme was? But it was like in the end, it was, well, if somebody tries to kill me in my sleep, they're gonna trip over stuff and it'll wake me up. That was me. That's still kind of me. I feel bad for Sam. On the inside, overthinking, overwhelmed. That's every teacher right now, and nursing staff. Burnt out, trouble saying no, need to be busy, unrealistic expectations, people pleasing, fear of failure, and self doubt. Well, I fit all of them on the inside. Don't turn 30. It's scary out there.
I don't want to hear it. I'm a year away from 40. Not even a year anymore. 11 months.
We'll start decorating with black balloons. Wait, that's not 50. 40 is the new 50. 40 is the new 50.
You suckle baby. Yeah. I've got so good baby right here.
Oh, is it Miss Muna?
It's a good baby.
Hey, sweetie.
He's
She's like, Mommy.
baby. Boy.
She's like, I'm famous. I need my own Instagram.
You shaggy. I can't even see your eyes. No.
She's like, Mom, I need my own Instagram account.
She has one, I think.
People keep telling me
She
Peaches.
does. My husband created her one a while back. Same with Loki.
That's funny. People keep telling me that Peaches needs her own Instagram account. I'm like, no, she's already got a big head. I'm surprised it fits through the door.
Actually, I think he deleted those two.
Oh, that's sad. I know a lot of people like that are content creators have Instagrams for their pets. And I'm like, my cat does not need a bigger head. Thank you very much.
Let me see if it's still out there. Accounts. Yeah, I think he deleted it. I don't see it.
Aww.
He did have one for a while. He's so pretty. You need a haircut.
Wait,
Talk baby to me.
Okay, I have a question because it looks like it is so uncomfortable. Peaches will like curl up in a circle and like she sleeps on top of her head. I'm like, how can you sleep that way? I don't understand. And she's like in this little tiny little ball.
I don't know.
Like,
She like sprawls out everywhere and then shoves her feet in your back.
Oh, now if Sam and I try to go to bed, whole different story. Let's sprawl out in the middle of the bed and take up as much room as we can.
Yeah.
But she's the only one on the bed. Like she's actually curled up on the edge corner of the bed in like the smallest space available. And I'm going, seriously, cat? Do that at night. Sprawl in the middle of the bed when there's no one else around. But at night, stand in the corner. Oh no, we're gonna stay in the corner during the day.
Is that the bedroom you're in?
Huh?
Is that the bedroom you're in?
Our bedroom is like right here. Like 10 steps away.
Oh.
Our house is, they call it a Jack and Jill. It's about 100 years old. When we actually didn't pay rent for the first 6 months we lived here because we actually were doing repairs on it. There was 17 layers of wallpaper on the walls, including the ceiling. The lady that lived here, before she went in the nursing home and before our landlord bought it, every year she'd have a wallpaper company just come and put a new wallpaper up. They never took the old down. They just put the new on top of the old, including the ceiling. And so it sat after she went to a nursing home and our landlords bought it. There was somebody else in here. They didn't take good care of it. They actually destroyed, like you can see right here, there's an archway going into our kitchen. Mm-hmm. On the kitchen side of it, it's kind of broken. It actually still needs fixed. But they broke it, and so they evicted them, and it sat empty for about 8 years. And my dad had done work on the garage. And when we called him and said, hey, Sam's getting out of the military in like 3 weeks, we need a place to live, we're moving home, Dad called the gentleman who owns it because he had done some other work. Because my dad used to do painting and roofing as his summer job because he retired from the military. And so he called him and said, hey, do you still have that house available? My daughter and son-in-law are moving home and need a place to live. And they came to the agreement of, Dad did all the negotiating for us of 6 months free rent as long as we took down all the wallpaper. It took 6 weeks to get all of the wallpaper down. Because some of it would come off real easy. Some of it we had to do a solution of vinegar, fabric softener, and water in a spray bottle and spray it down, like soak it. And then come back a couple days later and scrape it off with a petty knife. And then our walls are sheath and lathing. So it's almost, it's like kind of hollow. And so we have a stud finder to be able to hang things on the wall. So like the stud for this wall is where that picture is. It's in a very weird spot. And that's a load-bearing wall. We actually have like right here, you can kind of see it right here. It has an archway by this window right here. But yeah, so this is the living room. The kitchen is right behind, like this room through this archway. Then right this way, this way, is our bedroom. Then there is a very small bathroom and the other bedroom. And so it's called a Jack and Jill because there are a door coming from each bedroom that go into the bathroom area. We have the back room through here used to be my crafting space. So like if you've watched some of my real old videos from like when we first started the channel, from my live streams or from some of those videos, you'll see like that was the room that I filmed in, and then I moved in here. When did I move in this room? February of 2020, I think. Yes, February of 2020, because I went to Kansas City and stayed with a friend for a week. When we got back from Disney, she told me I needed out of the house. For those of you who haven't been with the channel, my brother was killed in a house fire in December of 2019, and then we went on a trip to Disney. And so, and I wasn't processing well. So I went and stayed with her for a week. And while I was gone, Sam surprised me by flipping the rooms. So this room that I'm in used to be the living room, and now it's my craft room / office. And all of our furniture from the living room is shoved into Sam's office in there. But it's kind of cozy and nice. There's room for his desk and couch in our entertainment center. But it's just a very small house. If we didn't live here, I would say that probably, maybe because we live in a small college town. It's a faith-based college. And so I would say that it would be good for like 2 female single students because they could share the bathroom. But other than that, it works for us because we don't have kids.
Yeah. One bathroom.
And it's a very small bathroom. Like, you can sit on the toilet and touch the tub without moving your arm too much.
That's the upstairs bathroom here. You could sit on the toilet and touch the sink and the tub.
Yeah, same. So.
And they're off to the side. They're like here and here. Instead of, like a sink and a toilet and a shower across, it's here. It's all the way, all in one.
Sam and I joke that there's only room for one person in our kitchen.
I feel like this bathroom on the other side of this wall, which is a half bath, is bigger than the bathroom upstairs, which is a full bath.
Victoria says, here's a cute Disney joke to get you in the mood for going back to teach tomorrow. How did Mickey feel the first time he saw Minnie Mouse? It was glove at first sight. Oh, that's cute. And Mickey's sightings is back. Welcome back. I still don't know what I'm doing for lunch tomorrow. It'll probably end up being a turkey wrap. I have a collapsible bento box type thing that I'll pack it in. I will be right back. Since you're back, I need to use the bathroom real quick.
Oh, go. I'm looking at my student loan stuff. I have to start paying it back this month. Oh, they just extended it actually, that we don't have to start paying it back until May 1st. Interesting. Well, it says May 1st, but oh no, that's my last payment. Yeah, it has accrued interest. So I was checking to see if I needed it for my taxes because of interest, and I didn't think I would, but apparently I do. Documents. Tax information.
Yeah, it was extended to May 1st.
Yeah. Oh, no. Okay, so it says tax information. There is no tax information for 2021.
Because we didn't have to pay anything.
That's right, but it accrued $1.18 interest over the whole year, which, how does they do that?
I don't think that they're not allowed to accrue interest right now. Because you're
$1.18 for the whole year, which is weird. I guess they accidentally did it.
That would be my guess, because that doesn't even sound like 1 month of interest.
But there's there's no tax.
That sounds good. That's what I'm doing. I'm gonna make a salad with grilled chicken. There we go. I like it. And Sean wants to know when you're coming back down to Florida, Christy.
February of 2023. So a while.
Christy's like, it's gonna be a long time.
Yes.
Very, very long for Christy. She's gonna try to hop into my suitcase though when we go through Nashville in July. Like all of a sudden we'll hear somebody like snoring in the back.
Like, I don't snore unless I'm sick.
Yep, and Christy's Walt Disney World Band 2023. See, Sam says I snore. I don't agree, but oh yeah, Sean, I need to send you what our plans are. I don't know them all actually. Christy knows Christy knows stuff that I don't.
I'm not saying. Yeah, I know it's a while away. There's a reason for that. So I took 2 trips in 2020 and they were without my family. And then I took one in 2021 without my family. And we had previously discussed going back in 2023 for the half marathon weekend. And it was a possibly, but maybe not. We don't know. So when I mentioned it to my husband, he was like, well, you can go. It's way cheaper for you to go by yourself than for the whole family to go, because you can stay at a resort that doesn't require more room for 4 people. Because I mean, those value resorts are cramped with just 2 people. If you try 4 people, it would not work. So we always kind of upgrade for the family, and then you've got park tickets for 4 people instead of just 1. So he was like, well, you can go and we'll do something else. So I was like, okay, I'll go in 2023. I'll skip 2022 altogether. And I'm okay with that.
There you go.
Send you the dates. Oh, he wants the dates for when you're there.
Do you want my dates or Christy's dates?
He'll forget mine by then. That's over a year away, but I know the dates.
We will be there. Let me look. July 2nd through the 9th. I think we're gonna run over to Universal on the 8th, at least in the afternoon, evening. I have a back to Hogwarts swap that I want to get my stuff while I'm there so I can ship it off. And apparently Sam's planning some big surprise that Christy knows about because Christy's doing the booking of it.
I think, what were your dates again? Let me make sure it doesn't affect your date changes.
Me?
Yeah, your July dates.
We check in the 2nd, we check out the 9th.
Okay, we're good.
And she's not being helpful by telling me anything.
I wasn't. I thought he might have tacked on a day, but he hasn't tacked on a day.
Okay. I'm like, I mean, that's between him and his work, but yeah, July 2nd through 9th. We're staying at Pop, which is fun. That's where we typically stay. Other than in December when we're going to be at French Quarter, which I'm very excited about. And we're just doing park hoppers. We're not doing the water parks.
What are you staring at?
You.
I was talking to Lena. Like she's going to respond to me, but still.
Sean says we'll be down for the 4th. We have made that a tradition. We are spending. I know that that's a 2-park day. We have park tickets for Epcot, and then Sam wants to hop over to Magic Kingdom to see the fireworks.
Those are 2 ones to hop to and from, other than like being on the monorail because there's so much to do at those parks. When I hop, I usually go from like Animal Kingdom to Hollywood Studios or Animal Kingdom to Epcot or Hollywood Studios to Epcot.
I'm excited because they're going to be there February 2nd to 4th. Oh, yay! So you're going to get to go head out, do some Festival of the Arts. I'm excited.
Arts.
The parks, Festival of the Arts. I'm super excited because we get the last 3 days of the Flower and Garden Festival. I am so excited. The Flower and Garden Festival has been something on my bucket list for years now. And it's never been able to work out because it usually starts and ends in earlier. But now that farts is longer. So if you don't know, we're not actually talking about like farts, like smelly gas. It's called Festival of the Arts, and it is one of Disney's festivals at Epcot. And so people call it farts. Festival and Arts, so farts. I felt like this needed explaining. And so Flower and Garden now starts later and ends later. So we get the last 3 days. We're actually leaving a day early so that we can get there on the 2nd at park opening and park and go to be able to be there at park opening for Flower and Garden. I'm so excited.
Lotion. Yeah, next year, the way I have it planned so far, and I base this on my research. Like I did research. It's so funny when I was talking to the booking person. She's like, "Oh my gosh, you know more about Disney than I do." I started laughing, but I looked at the history of the Arts Festival and the Flower and Garden Festival, and from where they start to where the arts ends and the Flower and Garden begins. And based on a couple of years of that and this year's, I did my a guesstimation of when arts will end and Flower will begin and put my timing to where I could hit both of them. Hopefully.
My oven's preheated, so I'm putting dinner in.
I think she went to the kitchen. That's where the kitchen is, right?
Kitchen.
2 hours later and I'm still doing these training modules.
Well, I'm doing good at avoiding dishes.
2 hours later and you still haven't done dishes? I have a teenager for that.
Hey, you want to send your teenager to do my dishes?
He does our dishes. And he mows the lawn when it needs it. He doesn't need it in the winter. They're getting bored with just staring at me. Get back here. You talk more than I do. Oh, thank you.
So, Christy, what are your watch hours at now?
I have no idea. Probably down because I haven't been getting a lot of views lately. Let me check. Oh, way down. My watched hours were at like 78%, and now they're at 55%.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, people aren't watching.
Okay. Well, I know what I'm taking for my lunch tomorrow. I'm taking teriyaki chicken because I forgot when I put the chicken into marinade. I put 3 chicken breasts in there. So I'm gonna have teriyaki chicken tomorrow for lunch. It's a bottle of Kikkoman's low sodium teriyaki marinade, and I just about 10 o'clock this morning, I put they're frozen chicken breasts, like out of those, like just the bags from Kroger or Walmart, and I put 3 chicken breasts in there with the bottle of marinade.
I think another thing that kind of played into the views being down is I haven't live streamed nearly this much.
They're going down in 2 weeks for the festival, and they're going to get your castle, Christy.
I saw. I said thank you.
And he says, I think views are down everywhere. I've noticed a lot less chat in Disney community.
Yeah, I've noticed that too.
Yeah.
When people are live streaming, there's a lot less people in chat. I was on that crazy Disney lady's live stream this morning for a few minutes, and she normally had like 900 or so. She had like 300. It's way down.
I think people are like back at work and that, because I know it, when we were all home, the streams were like super busy.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, our numbers were much higher too on our nights that we streamed.
Mm-hmm. So I think people are discouraged with Disney, in my honest opinion. Yeah.
Yeah, all the price increases and just everything. But mine isn't strictly Disney. Mine's like makeup and Disney.
Mm-hmm. I'm hoping that, because my craft and chat on Sunday afternoons wasn't getting a lot of traffic, but when I did it in the morning one time, I got a ton of traffic. So,
well, the people that aren't at church are flipping through YouTube looking for stuff.
So, I think I'm going to move my craft and chat's going to once a month instead of every week, and then it'll be at 10 a.m. Central Time.
This is what I typically do is like, once I'm away from my desk, I don't get on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
So I will have YouTube up playing in the background, whether it's a live stream or videos or whatever, while I'm working, and I'm just listening. And it's easier just to listen when people are in the parks live streaming and just glance over if something strikes your fancy. And but when I leave my desk, I don't usually get on YouTube whatsoever unless I go to take a bath, and then I'll be in live chats in the bath.
Well, if she's not live with me, Christy's from the bath.
Well, I've been in the bath before, and I was in somebody's live stream. And I don't remember who it was, but someone in the chat said, "Bring Christy on," and they were like, "Okay," and I'll send you a link. I was like, "Oh crap!" I had to get out of the bath and get dressed, and then come back over here.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, it does help you concentrate, and that's a lot of times people won't even know I'm in their chat because I'm listening. I'll say hi when I first get in there, but if they don't see that, then they don't know I'm in there.
Yeah.
Usually Walt sees my comment and says, "Hey," but most everyone else, they don't even realize I'm in there.
Yeah, Sam does a lot of, Sam, tonight is class night for Sam for this particular class for business law. This is week 3 for him. So this is kind of when he's got a project to do this week, and they're going to talk about it tonight, what the specifics are and things. So I know, and it's one of the things, Sam's always like, "I don't care if you're live streaming. I don't care what, because I'm doing homework. I'm doing class." Mm-hmm. It's really the weekends when we can do stuff together. But Sunday mornings is when he's finishing up anything that he hasn't gotten accomplished during the week. And so if I live stream Sunday morning while he's doing schoolwork, he's not waiting on me or anything like that. So I think it'll end up working out better. At least we're going to try it for a few months and see where it goes.
Yeah. Mine, it's we both work from home, so anything that's live streaming after work hours or anything like that, it interferes with
family time.
Yeah. Except for, I can't remember, I think it's Tuesday nights, which I should probably, this is I had magical makeup before this, but Tuesday nights he has calls with Japan, so technically Tuesday nights are.
Well, would you want to move Travel Talk to Tuesdays?
Maybe, and coordinate it with, because his Tuesday night calls are every other week. Maybe coordinate it with his Tuesday night calls that are at 6:30 in the evening.
Let me know when the first one in March is, and I'll change the date in StreamYard, and we'll just coordinate it with his talk. That'll work. Tuesday nights are fine with me.
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay, Sean, thank you so much for hanging out with us this afternoon, and I hope that you're able to get all the groceries that you're needing. I know that some things are just kind of hard to find, so have a wonderful week, Sean.
Yeah, have a good week, and have a good trip. We'll talk to you before then, but have a good trip to Disney in 2 weeks.
Christy will be talking with you about her castle. If you're wondering what castle, they brought out a Jim Shore castle for the 50th, and it's only available in Magic Kingdom. Mm-hmm. And so she's coordinating with Sean to pick that up for her.
It's a pricey one too.
Pricey.
Yeah, I did all 6 of those modules, and the points are still not showing up.
My guess
it'll probably be tomorrow or something.
It'll all these points will hit at once.
Yeah, probably. Probably.
Everything's kosher for Craft and Chat until I get to July. And then the first 2 Sundays were gone. So I'm going to have to move it to later in July.
I think that's the word I meant to say earlier when I said gourmet. kosher pickles.
Okay. I'm like, what the heck's a gourmet pickle? I was thinking of like pickles and like maraschino cherry juice or something. Okay. Have you tried the TikTok thing where people put Kool-Aid mix in with their dill pickles?
Nope, but I don't do Kool-Aid.
It's the powdered mix without sugar in it.
I need to get my eyes checked. The screen is blurry.
I've thought about trying to get some of those blue light glasses to help. So I'm not on the computer as much as I was when I was working at the chamber, but I'm still on it a fair bit.
I'm on it all day, every day.
You are. So you may want to look into those too.
Well, I think I just need to get my eyes checked because I know that I have oh my gosh, why can't I think of it? Oh, astigmatism.
Oh,
so I have glasses for that, but I've never had bad eyesight, but everything's blurry. I can barely see what the chat says. But I think I have my glasses over here somewhere. Maybe not. I don't know. I have 2 pairs of glasses. It's Maleficent. I don't know how I got this. Somebody sent it to me. You want to play Pictionary?
Me?
Yeah.
Sure. I'm sitting here scheduling stuff on StreamYard.
Oh, there's a board. I didn't realize there was a board. Oh, it's an actual game where there's a board. It's not just questions. All right.
Okay.
Which one of these characters says you're just in an accident waiting to happen? I don't know who any of these characters are.
Okay, well, A is Princess Sophia, and C is one of the chicks from Phineas and Ferb that are in Isabella's Fireside Girls troupe.
Gretchen.
Yes, Gretchen. D is D from
Taffeta Mutton Fudge? Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah, it's from Wreck-It Ralph. I don't know who's B.
Myrna? Jack and the Neverland Pirates?
Jack and the Neverland Pirates. Okay, I think she's a mermaid in Jack and the Neverland Pirates. Okay. Let's go with D.
Yeah, that's correct. We're gonna switch because I don't know any of these.
Hey, I'm feeling pretty smart right now that I knew 2 of the.
Oh, well, there's more. So, which 2 of these characters can communicate with animals?
B and A.
Yeah. Which 3 of these characters are not princesses?
B, C, and D.
Yeah. Which one of these characters is often seen with a lollipop?
D.
Which one of these match my answers? Which one of these characters would I most want to have as a friend? We're not doing that one because I don't know any of them.
Well, okay. I go with C, Gretchen from Phineas and Ferb, because they get lots of patches for doing really random stuff with Phineas and Ferb. So if I were to get in any kind of trouble, she'd more than likely know how to get out of it. And I'd probably say B, because I'm scared of sharks. And since she's a mermaid, she could talk to the sharks and keep them from eating me.
Okay, this card. So we've got which one of these characters turns down a marriage proposal? Do you want to know who they are?
Well, I'm assuming A is Alice.
She's the White Queen from Alice in Wonderland.
Okay. So I'm going to go with C, Alice.
Yes, C is Alice, and then B is Mad Hatter, and D is Red Queen. Okay.
Okay, so my answer is C, Alice.
Okay. Yep, that's correct. Which two of these characters are royalty?
A and D.
Yep. Which three of these characters rejoice together at the end of Alice in Wonderland?
ABC.
Which one of these characters has more than one personality?
B.
Yep. Which player do I think is most likely to fall asleep in a strange place? So I guess that's just like for the people.
C. Alice.
All right. Let's do this one.
I have not seen the live action Alice in Wonderland, so I feel pretty smart.
So A is Stabbington's brother
From Tangled.
B is Huey from DuckTales. C is Fauna, maybe, from Sleeping Beauty. And D is Ed from The Lion King. So
Okay.
that's which one of these characters listens as another character sings the song Be Prepared?
D.
Which two of these characters have identical siblings?
C and B.
It's A and B.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
Which three of these characters are typically seen in groups of three?
ABC.
B, C, and D.
Okay.
Which one of these characters has visited a place called the Snuggly Duckling?
A.
Yep. I would, for some reason, think B because he's a
The
duck.
Snuggly Duckling is the bar in Tangled.
Oh, okay. All right. So here's the next one. The first one is Captain's Daughter's Sign from Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides.
On Stranger Tides, okay.
B is El Sleazo Cafe sign from the Muppets movie.
Okay.
C is Flo's V8 Cafe sign from Cars. And D is the Snuggly Duckling sign in Tangled.
Tangled.
All right. So which one of these establishments is the setting of a fight between Jack Sparrow and his imposter?
I'm going to go with A on that one, Christy.
Yeah, I think that one was easy. Which two of these establishments can be found in live action movies?
A and B.
Yeah. Which three of these establishments are meeting places of shady individuals?
A, B, and D.
Yep. Which one of these establishments provides customers with motor oil for drinking?
I will say C, Christy.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Okay, these are Monster Inc. characters. Do you need me to tell you what their names are?
No.
Okay. Which one of these characters is sometimes called Kitty?
A.
B.
Oh, B.
A
But
calls him.
A calls B Kitty.
Yeah. Which two of these characters often call each other Googly Bear and Shiskamapoopsie Poo?
C and D.
Yeah. Which three of these characters escape a restaurant before the child detection agency arrives?
A, B, and C.
Yep. Which one of these characters does not live in Monsteropolis? God, that one. Yes.
We scare because we care.
Okay. Do you need me to tell you who these characters are?
Just A.
Dipper from Gravity Falls.
Okay.
Okay. Which one of these characters has a friend named Chubby?
A.
C.
Okay.
Which two of these characters have traveled through time?
B and C?
A and B.
Okay.
Which three of these characters have siblings?
A, B, and D.
Yep. Which one of these characters has been a talk show host?
B.
Yep.
I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Because they had a show.
Do I need to tell you who these are?
Hold on. Let me think about it a second. Bob, Joe, Billy, and Tommy. Got it.
Okay. Which one of these characters was the first to appear in color in a theatrical released animated movie?
C?
Yes.
Because it was one of the ones that they made to help promote the war effort during World War II, right?
It doesn't say. Maybe. Which two of these characters were the first to appear together in an animated cartoon?
A and B.
Yeah.
They appeared together in Steamboat Willie, and then after that was The Picnic.
Which three of these characters play ghost?
Ghost Hunters.
Ghost Hunters. Yeah, go ahead.
A, C, and D.
Okay. Which one of these characters was the first to be seen in a full-length feature film?
A?
Yeah.
Okay. There's a lot of... do you think Goofy's a dog or a cow? Because there's some people say that they think he's a cow. And I always thought it was a dog. That's what I thought.
It's weird because Goofy's a talking dog and he has a pet dog named Pluto that doesn't talk.
But Pluto's Mickey's pet.
Oh, he was barking earlier. He can be out of the crate now. Yeah, it should be under the cabinet with all the others.
But Pluto is Mickey's dog. But Goofy is dating the cow.
Pluto's Mickey's dog? I thought Pluto was...
Nope, Pluto is Mickey's dog.
You would know better because I don't really know very many Disney things. That's why you're like, is it this? I'm like, I don't know.
Sure, we'll go with that.
You say so.
Okay.
Okay. Do you know all these characters?
Ursula, Madam Mim, Evil Queen, and yeah, we're good.
Okay. Which one of these characters says, I hate sunshine?
B?
Yep. Which two of these characters turn into dragons?
B and D.
Yep. Which three of these characters have minions to help carry out their evil plans?
A, C, and D.
Yep. Which one of these characters almost marries a prince?
A.
Yeah. You're too good at this. I would get half of them wrong.
So this will probably be the last card. It's going on 2:30, and I know you've got some things to do, and I need to get dishes done. So, last one.
Oh, one more. You want one more?
Sure.
This one's buildings.
Okay.
All right. Which one of these houses is the home of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs?
B.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Which two of these houses were not the homes of heroines at the start of the movies?
B and C.
B and D.
Okay.
Which three of these houses are in movies with animals that do not talk?
B, A, B, and D?
B, C, and D.
That was going to be my first answer.
Which one of these houses is home to a mischievous cat named Lucifer?
A.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it has been a fun couple of hours, and I thank you, Christy, for coming back to hang out with me as I avoided housework for the day. Thank you to Victoria and Mickey Sightings, and I know there was some Paul And I know we had someone pop in from Libya. So I just don't remember the name and I couldn't find it scrolling up real quick. So thank you to everyone who came out and hung out with us. The next official live stream on my end is February 6th, which is Craft and Chat here on my channel. But on Thursday, which is the 27th, is Magical Makeup with Christy at 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern. And what is our theme this week?
What?
Magical makeup theme. What is magical makeup theme this week?
That's if I'm feeling okay, because I feel worse today than I did yesterday.
Yikes.
Magical makeup is Looney Tunes.
Okay, so pending Christy feels up to it, the magical makeup theme will be Looney Tunes. Be watching on Instagram because Christy will make an announcement if there is magical makeup or not. Thank you again to everyone for coming and hanging out with us. I hope you had fun, and we will see you in